Good evening, guys. Happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. Do you guys see back there? I have to put, I think I've mentioned this before, I have to put this stuffed animal here because it's like really big and it's like so like where I sleep, I use like one of those like curved body pillow kind of things, so it kind of like wraps around. And the dogs love to sleep in that spot, but I don't like them being like there. Like this is their blanket, this pink kind of brown blanket, whatever. Like that's for them to lay on. And then my blanket up at the top is the white blanket, and I don't like them being on my blanket. Like their dog hair gets all over it. You know, I don't like having that up, especially by my face, like when I'm sleeping and stuff like that. So I try and keep them down here. But whenever I'm not in the bed, they automatically want to go up there because it's nice and comfortable. And you know, like they're all like closed in, like in between all of the pillows up there. So that's our favorite spot to lay when I'm not in the bed. So I've resorted to having to put stuffed animals in my spot so that they don't lay up there. Because you guys can see, like, Charlie, he's still kind of like laying in like the pillow like area sort of over there, and poor Bravo's just down here all by himself. But like they still like to lay near it even if they're not like laying in that part, but that's their favorite place to lay. So every time I get out of the bed, I have to put a stuffed animal there, like a big one. I have that, and I also have a big elephant, and I have to put them in the way so that they don't try and get into that spot. So anyways, well, we've got another coat of primer on today. I think that the last coat of primer went on the walls today in the room, which is nice. But I think I was telling you guys that what's the pain right now is that we can't work late because like, and I mean, it's dark by like 4 o'clock. So, and we don't even have enough time to by like the time that the paint dries to get another coat on. Like in here we were able to, because we'd be able to put like one coat on like earlier, you know, in the day or early in the morning. And then by like mid to end of the day, we could put another coat on while it was still sunny out. We have not had such luck because now it's so dark and we don't have an overhead light because we're painting. We took the light down. And also too, because the light that's going to go in there was a different one. It was the one that was in here. So like we took that one down anyway because it's not staying in there, and then it's the one that wasn't here is going in there. So like we didn't keep it up anyway, you know, like it was coming down, and we were going to take it down regardless of if we were painting or not. But because we're painting too, like it's down anyway because we need it down so that we can paint. But we can't paint much or get much done in a day because we have no light. And again too, it gets dark so much later. So like I said, that is what we've been struggling with. And we tried to kind of like do the ceiling first, but like we still had to finish all of the other like priming and stuff like that. And anyways, the goal was to have the rooms done, like my cousin, like their company, to come out like this week. Originally we wanted to have them out at the beginning of this week. Then it was like, okay, well maybe they can come out midweek, like tomorrow's Wednesday where they're not scheduled to come out. And I don't foresee them probably coming next week either because of Thanksgiving. Because again too, like the project is going to take a few days, and like the other thing too is I don't really want them to come like on like Monday, and then they again too, they're coming to do like the ceiling and like the drywall work and stuff like that, and it's going to take a few days to get the drywall done because you have to let it dry, and then you have to like, you know, again like mud it again, and then you have to let it dry, and then you have to sand it and like all that kind of stuff. Then the painting, they're painting the ceiling. Once they finish that, like there's a lot of stuff that has to be done, right? And then also too, like the floors, like they have to sand the floors, they have to stain it, they have to wait for the stain to dry. I think maybe you put at least 2 coats of stain on when you do that too. Like you put the first coat on, then you put a second coat on. I know because when we stained the like even the fence too, like Jack stained the fence, normally we put like 2 or 3 coats on it. And the same thing too with like our garden bed, it's our raised garden beds, like we had to put like 2 or 3 coats on of that as well. So like I'm assuming when they do the floor, it's gonna be the same thing too. And I don't even know if they can put the coats on in the same day. Like they might do one and then have to come back and do another one, you know, like that. So yeah, I don't want them to like come out like next week, like us be done on Monday and them come out and then be like, okay, but like be working in between Thanksgiving. Like I don't want that. Like, so if they're not going to be able to finish it before Thanksgiving, I have to be out of this room and the other room as well. Like I can't be in either room. So like my mattress is going to be on the living room floor. Like I'm going to be sleeping in the living room, and all of the other stuff that is in here will also have to be out of here. But like, so like that's why I'm temporarily in here for right now. But I keep noticing too, like literally every time like that we still haven't taken the painter's tape off of these windows. So that's not done. But anyways, like it just looks so weird because it's like, yeah, clearly this room is not finished. You guys can't really tell actually from like me standing here. You can't see that there's no trim on the floor. You can't see that there's paint splatter on the floor. You can't see the hole in the ceiling. Like so yeah, you can't see any of that. It's the only thing you see is the painter's tape, and it's like, oh, that's all that's going on in there. No, like I feel like I am in a partially finished house right now. Like it's weird. But like even to like there's no face plates like on like the outlets and like the light switch and stuff like that, but I don't have a light that works in here anyway, so I'm not even using the light switch. So I actually have no lights in here as well. I just have my stand lights that I have, which is why the lighting is always so weird in here. But anyway, so like I said, I personally don't want that because like having to try and celebrate Thanksgiving, which we're going over to my aunt's house on Thanksgiving Day, but then we're putting the Christmas tree up on Friday, and then on Saturday Sunday, I think we're doing like at home Thanksgiving. So I don't want my bed out in the living room like for any of that. So like I said, if they can't finish it before Thanksgiving, then I don't want to get it started. And again too, it's like now it's being pushed so far. Like if they weren't gonna come out like today or tomorrow, I don't think it'll be done before Thanksgiving, and we're still not done painting the room. And like I said, the biggest problem is that we can't get like more than one coat on of paint in a day. And so, and we have to do the ceiling, and we still have to do the walls, and like we have to tape this stuff off to do it. So it's like I said, it's just a big pain, and it's taking us longer because of now the season change and because we have less daylight and everything like that. Like, so we're struggling here. And like I said, I foresee us being done before Christmas. I do, but I don't foresee us being done before Thanksgiving. And I kind of had this feeling, like I was like, oh, it'd be awesome to get it done before Thanksgiving, but we're just really not. Like, we're not gonna, I don't think so, because like I said, we don't even have paint on the wall yet. It's just the primer. We finished priming everything. The entire room is done being primed, but we are not done with the paint, which we have to do the ceiling paint, and then we have to do the wall paint, and that's not done. So yeah, like I said, it's just like that will probably take another 2-3 days, I think, to probably get the paint done, and that's being generous. Honestly, it'll take through the weekend, but we'll be done by the weekend. But like I said, I don't want my dad to be like, okay, we're done, and then be like, okay, we'll come out on Monday, and then be like, okay, but we're not gonna finish it until like the weekend or something, like them coming out on Saturday to like come and work on it again, because I'm gonna assume Thursday they're not going to be here, but they might be like, okay, well, Monday, Tuesday, we'll let the stuff dry, Wednesday, Thursday, then we'll come back on Friday and Saturday or whatever. You know, like I said, I don't know, but I'm figuring it's going to be like oh, well, we're just here for like a few hours to like, again, to, you know, stain the floor a second time or put more mud on or whatever, and then they leave. Like, that's what they did with the floors in the other room when they had to use the paint stripper. They, you know, like did that, then there was another day they came back, scraped it off, then they had to let the floors dry. Then they came back, sanded it, then they put the coat on of, like, we did a clear coat, not stain, but they put that on, then they came back, did it again. And so, like, but that was like, you know, again, too, like, shorter, like, they were just here for like an hour or two, you know, like, whatever, and then left, you know. So, but like, even too, like, they came for like an hour or so, then like, you know, used, like, got the paint stripper, like, scraped it up, then they had to let the floors dry after that too. So like I said, they were probably here 3 or 4 times just to do the floors in there. Like I said, that's going to be very similar to the same situation in here, 3 or 4 days for probably the floors, and different days too. Like, I know they were here, like there was a whole day where they weren't here, so it took about a whole week to actually finish the floors. But again too, it wasn't like they were here every day for the whole week. It was like they were here for like an hour one day or whatever. And then, like I said, it's going to be similar, not them, but the other person we had doing the drywall in the other room, it was the same thing. Like, they were here for like one day, did like the, you know, cut the drywall in and, you know, that kind of stuff, then like mudded it, then they had to wait for it to dry, then they had to come back another day, then they had to wait for that to dry, then they had to come back another day, sand it down, and then like we could paint on it, you know, by that point. So like I said, that even too was like a 3-day process. So I don't foresee that being done before Thanksgiving, and like I said, I don't want to try and like be displaced for the holiday as well, but ideally like have it done before Christmas. I don't want to be in this kind of situation for Christmas either, and like just like I said, living in the room that like you know, like I said, you guys don't see much, but the room is not functional really right now. It is just really a place that I sleep, and I don't really like being in here that much. But then the other thing too is that like once the rooms are finished, then we have to get all the furniture and get all the furniture in here and everything like that, and build all the furniture, and like it's very overwhelming. And being so close to holidays too, it's like so much more overwhelming. Like I'm like, we're gonna probably be right up to like Christmas, like actually completely finished with everything, like right up to Christmas, because like too, once they finish this stuff, we also have to paint the trim once they put the trim in, like all that kind of stuff. Like I said, it's just the timing of everything like that is really bad right now. But again too, there's so much stuff we couldn't do because we had football going on, and my dad and Jack were gone every night, and then on Saturdays too. And then they, you know, like Sunday was literally the only day over the last 3+ months or whatever, was just Sunday that they didn't have anything going on, and they still had a coaches meeting normally on Sunday for like an hour or two. So there was literally football every single day, and I was gone literally almost the entire afternoon to evening, you know, on Fridays also, you know, until sometimes it was 2 in the morning we actually got back. I think one of the late nights when we were gone for that long, it was like 2 o'clock we finally got home. One of those really far drives. Like it, you know, like I said, it was crazy. Like the amount of time that football took over, and you can't do anything. Like my dad literally would work his regular job, then he'd go to football in the afternoon, he'd come home at, you know, like 6-ish o'clock, and my dad goes to bed by 8 o'clock because he's up at 3 in the morning to go to work. So like I said, he has literally no time. And Jack too, it's like the same thing. Jack has like school, and then he'd have like, you know, football. Like, you know, like there's just not a lot of time in that season of the last 3 or so months to have gotten much of anything done at all. So I mean, we would have like a little time on the weekends sometimes, but not enough to really like get going with a project kind of thing. So we're able to do things now. It's just the problem is that the sunlight, and we don't have a lot of time in the evenings to, you know, now that evenings are free, we don't have the sun that's working along with us, you know. So anyways, I'm gonna take a shower and get to bed. I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.